Hey, what's up? This is Seth Green, and you are listening to Somewhere in Vegas with Mark, and I am so hot, I would desperately like a glass of water. Please, please, give me some water.
This is Cindy Preston, and I'm with Mark on Somewhere in Vegas.
Hi, this is Melissa Peterman from CMT's The Singing Bee and the television show Reba. And I have to tell you, I just have to get it off my chest, I love Somewhere in Vegas with Mark.
Hi there. This is Faith Roscoe from General Hospital. You're listening to Mark on Somewhere in Vegas. And you better watch out. We know how to find you if you're not listening.
Hi, this is Shannon Egan from Whippet, and I love Somewhere in Vegas with Mark.
Hey, this is Lee Allen Baker with Somewhere in Vegas, talking with Mark with a Q.
This is Courtney Cronin. You're listening to Somewhere in Vegas with your host, Mark, and I would make sure to listen every week because he's a sure bet.
Hey, this is the Money Man, Eddie Money. I got 2 tickets to Paradise, and it's, you know what? It's Somewhere in Vegas. And what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Hi, this is Crystal Gale, and I love Somewhere in Vegas with Mark.
Hi, this is Terry Nunn from Berlin, and you're listening to Mark Somewhere in Vegas.
Hi, this is Miracle Laurie from Joss Whedon's Dollhouse. There are 3 flowers in a vase, and I'm listening to Somewhere in Vegas with Mark.
Hi, this is Erin Hill, and you are listening to Mark on Blog Talk Radio and Somewhere in Vegas. Mark is a great guy.
Hi, this is Sean Pulaski. I'm still trying to figure out Mark Pico's sexuality, but I know you're listening to Somewhere Live in Vegas.
Here you go, Mark. I'm sorry. I thought you were she. I'm sorry. Get out of the tent. Let's get out of here.
Hey, this is Lance and Anna from Free Radio. And Anna?
And you're listening to Somewhere in Vegas.
Yes.
My favorite.
You know, that's usually what happens with me. I go to Vegas and I get lost, and so I end up somewhere in Vegas.
Somewhere in Vegas.
But I just don't know where it is.
Not quite sure.
Yeah, word.
Get ready. It's going to be hot. It's in Vegas. Check out Mark. Be there or be square.
My guest at this time has a new single out called A Song That You Can Drink Beer To. That's up his new album, Something Worth Remembering, which is coming out on March 26th. Gary-Pratt is on with us right now. How you doing, Gary?
Hey, thank you for having me on the show. I'm doing okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Are you up in Nashville or you're up in Pittsburgh?
I'm up in, it's probably about 40 miles east of Pittsburgh, if anybody knows that area. I grew up in a small town called Slickville, which was a small coal mining town. I live in Greensburg now. Like I said, it's about 40 miles east of Pittsburgh.
And
great place.
First of all, how's it up there? How's it up there right now? I mean, you guys got a lot of winter weather? Are you starting to see spring a little bit?
Well, we've had a lot of snow, like 4 inches, 6 inches here and there. Yesterday it was like 18, I think was the low. Now today we're up to 50. So, you know, it's nice and sunny today. You know, I love the sunshine, but it's been a sort of a rough winter, but we haven't had anything like a foot of snow or 6 foot like we've had, you know, other years. But the last 3 years have been pretty minor, I think, you know. I'm more of a beach guy, but, you know, it hasn't been that bad. Now,
you know, just coming into, you know, this past year, I mean, did you do a lot of songwriting? Did you kind of concentrate on, you know, some new music while you couldn't tour?
You know, I think as all musicians do, we always want to get better. We strive to get better. Even if you're really good, you're striving to do something better. And I've been concentrating on some writing, but a lot of my concentration has been getting this album set up with the record company and finishing the album, getting the artwork done. And, you know, it's really given me a lot of time to concentrate on this project. It took us about, I've been working on it for about 1.5 years, actually. I did 2 albums at the same time. I did a Christmas album 2 years ago. And at the same time, we were recording the music for this album. So I've been in the studio probably the last 2 years. And of course, everyone that I've been working with at the studio and my producer, we've become pretty close as a family now. You know, it's we call each other if we need each other. And but I've been concentrating definitely on the recording and getting what I'm going to produce as far as like I said, the artwork, and also getting I wrote 6 of the songs myself, and then 5 of the songs are written by pretty much known writers in Nashville. Tony Arata, who wrote the dance for Garth Brooks and Danny Wells. But I wanted to do a combination of songs that I wrote and other people wrote on this album. But like I said, it's really given me a lot of time to concentrate on the promotion and getting the mechanical rights all put together. And I'm learning a lot about the business side of the music industry. So that's where I've been really concentrating, with a couple gigs here and there.
Now, in terms of studio time, were you able to, record a lot of these tracks before the pandemic?
Actually, all the music was pretty much done before the pandemic. The vocals were not, some of the vocals anyhow. So we were still recording when this all started, back, was it last March, I believe. So we were still recording then. So yeah, we were doing it with, before the pandemic and during. So it was sort of, it was different. We would go into the studio with our mask on, but of course, that was when it first started, and, we're a little bit shy about that, but, then we spent so much time together that, it's became a little bit more relaxed after the first hit.
Now, going on your third album here, I mean, how has it been for you to be in studio and kind of, have at least that experience under your belt of, recording, and has it gotten a little bit easier for you going into the studio?
You know what? The more you go into a studio, the more relaxed you get. The first time I went in was actually at the same studio back in 2009, and I did an album that I wrote like 7 of the songs. It was an EP. It was like 7 songs that I wrote, and I did not have a producer then. Basically went into the studio, the engineer helped out, and the people that did the tracks, the music tracks. It was quite different than this time. These last 2 albums, I had a producer, Brian Cole, who's absolutely wonderful. It makes you work a little bit harder, but I'm glad I had that first album under my belt, because I could see the difference and in how I sang and how they pushed me this second time to do this album. And it was a lot easier vocally, but I also learned a lot from my producer, and he pushed me to a limit, and things that I could work on vocally. And so it was really different in that aspect. Also, the guy, Adam Ernest, did all the he did most of the music tracks. He plays every instrument that you can imagine, and he did most of those tracks. He's living in Nashville now, a young guy. He's very talented, an artist in his own right. And this experience this time was so much more enjoyable. I was more at ease the second time, going in with these 2 last albums. And I don't know, the atmosphere was different. I guess because I was more relaxed and I sort of knew what to experience. When you first go in, you're a little bit, you're nervous, and you got to be open to learn and take other people's criticism and other people's recommendations, to grow. And like I said, all musicians want to grow. And, I really enjoyed this process so much better than the first time. And then the way they record now, too, I don't know all the, it's a different type of recording than back in 2009. It's more updated, all the different things that they have that they use. It's completely different and so much more efficient too. But I really enjoyed working on this project.
When it came to the album tracks and the order, I mean, how much say did you have in it? And was there any kind of a theory or a strategy in order for you to have certain songs in certain places?
I'm glad you asked that. This album, is dedicated to my brother. He passed away about 3 years ago. We were very close. And all along, I've been thinking, like, how can I incorporate, like, dedicating this album to him? The last song that we picked sort of brought the whole album together. It's called Something Worth Remembering, which was written by Tony Arata, who wrote The Dance for Bard. We were going to go with 10 songs on the album and decided, and then my producer heard the song. He goes, Gary, you got to hear this song. And he knows my story in it. I heard the song. I said, we have to do this song. And it brought the whole album together. The first, I'll tell you a little bit about the album. The first, and I had complete control of how the songs would be listed. The first song I wrote is called You Gotta Jump In. Now, when I was younger and I was sort of backward, shy, I think that's why I got into music so much, because it was sort of my place to go. But this song was sort of written about that. I mean, you got to jump in. You got to go for your dreams, your goals, and you can't be afraid to go for things that you want. You may have to do some things that are a little uncomfortable, that make you nervous, but you have to do those things if you want to grow as a person. I look back now and I see that, and hopefully someone will hear this song. I mean, you only live once. So that what it's about growing up, and you live once, go for your dreams. That's the first song. In between, we have, songs about life, country songs, they're written about heartbreaks. Like I said, about growing up. It's about drinking, having fun with your friends. And these are all things that everybody does, as they're growing up. It's about finding true love and, knowing that God, he has that someone out there for you. And sooner or later, you'll find that someone. And you'll know that, God had his hands in all of that. Then it leads up to, at the end of the album, after you're beginning life, you're growing up, going through all these different things in life. And at the end of the album, there's, the song, Something Worth Remembering. It's about, maybe beating an addiction or overcoming your fears, whatever that may be, but also, being good to people. And it might just be the smallest thing that you do to make somebody's day. My brother, this is why I picked this song, and it just sort of put everything together. And I look back now, probably, since he's passed, and at the time I didn't realize it, but he did a lot of good things, and he made his mark, here on earth, and just little things that he would do for me. He's a big guy. I'm a smaller guy, and like if he knew I had a gig at some rough place, he'd show up just in case I needed him, fixing things. I'm not that good at that neither. And he'd if I need something done on plumbing or something, he'd just, hey, I heard you need this. And I'm like, yeah, come on in. And now I look back and, and he did so many things that was worth remembering. And I think people need to do that, especially nowadays, overcome your fears. If you're addicted to something, overcome that, and put your trust in God and do good for other people, and try to make the world a better place, because you'll be remembered for it. And that's what the whole album is about. It's about life.
And with that in mind, I mean, are we going to be seeing any music videos off of any of the songs here?
We do have a video scheduled. Right now, it's just a lyric video. I know we are going to do that real soon with the first single, A Song You Can Drink a Beer To. Hopefully, we'll do some more extensive videos in the future. I have a few ideas that would be pretty cool for a few of the songs. Do one thing at a time, but the next step is to do a lyric video for a song You Can Drink a Beer To. So that's the plans. I also want to put out there that those guys that I worked with at the studio, Adam Ernest and Doug Casper, who owns Tonic Studios and the engineer, and Brian Cole who